This one's coming from AITA posted 1 month ago. OP is desperate solid 2378. Am I the asshole for leaving my wife at a restaurant after she insulted me? My wife, 31 female, and I, 30 female, were at a restaurant to celebrate a big milestone in my career. I was talking about my career in voice acting, which I absolutely love, before she decided to insult me by saying, quote, "You should just be a mime instead so no one has to hear you talking anymore." My wife always makes a lot of jokes like these, basically insulting me, which I usually don't pay too much attention to. This quote-unquote joke in particular really hurt me because I used to be very self-conscious about my voice due to being bullied for years about the way I used to speak. So this hit me really hard. She also knows this was a hard point in my life and it was very hard to get past. After she said this, I just said, "Are you serious?" before standing up and abruptly walking away. I didn't tell her where I was going, but I drove to my studio and have been here for the past few hours. She has been blowing up my phone with calls and messages about leaving her at the restaurant to pay the bill. It was an expensive restaurant and I usually pay for our outings as I make more money. And for leaving her stranded, as I took the car when I left. I'm not sure if I'm overreacting, as my wife always says this is just her sense of humor and I need to stop being a snowflake. But she is blowing up my phone calling me immature for leaving over a joke. Am I the asshole for leaving her at the restaurant?
Ooh. This also, I think, is a bit of an overreaction. I think you left her stranded. Like, you took the car. I think that is quite rude. Like, what she said was rude, too. Don't get me wrong.
Two wrongs don't make it right?
I think this is more of a wrong.
You think so?
Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. Taking the car? How would you feel if I took the car and abandoned you?
Oh, yeah, I would be pissed.
Same.
But also, like, I wouldn't be this rude to you. I wouldn't say, so no one can hear you talking anymore. Like, that's rude.
What kind of marriage is that?
I don't like that. Why do you want to talk to your partner like that?
Why does something need to be putting your partner down to be funny?
Right?
Like,
yeah, there's a way to be, like, funny without being rude.
How much do I joke around that is, like, being rude but being sarcastic?
No, you don't joke around at, like, people's expense.
Like, how much do I make fun of you, but with sarcasm?
Honestly, not really. I don't even think you do.
It's not fun. It's not funny.
I don't. I mean,
unless you like trip or something, I just like call you out on like what you did.
Yeah.
But I don't go like, "Oh my God, you're always so clumsy. You can never walk straight" or something. I feel like that's a bad example. I tried.
Like, that's not even bad.
Yeah.
I feel like they both. Okay, what is the question? Am I overreacting?
Yes. Is she overreacting for how she reacted?
I do think she did a little bit. I don't think you should have left her there.
Right? I feel like if you guys drove together.
Dealt with it. Yeah, you drove there together. I don't know. I think you could have left together and then, like, I don't know, been silent in the car. Like a normal couple fight. Like, you just, turn your knee the other way and look out the window, and that's all.
As much as I'm like, hey, getting an Uber is easy and stuff, like, if you drove to the restaurant together, I always find it pretty fucked up if you just abandon them at the restaurant.
Yeah, over, like, okay, I'm not saying that this wasn't something to react about. I think OP should definitely be feeling hurt, and she should definitely communicate that. But it's still, like, yeah, two wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah. Best comment. My ex-wife would do this stuff all the time. I didn't fully recognize it as abusive until after we split. In my case, it ended up getting so awful, she would, quote, joke nearly every day about me ending my life and making it look like an accident so she would get insurance money.
What the fuck?
And where I finally decided to draw a line with her was the fact that nobody else was around to laugh at her biting wit. So who was this joke for? Right. Certainly not you. Was the server laughing? Meanwhile, if someone was around to laugh, what's the joke? You get to feel humiliated and exposed? Don't blame me for walking out. This stuff escalates over time until you can't just sit there and take it anymore. Not the asshole.
Damn, that's actually such a good point. I feel like it's almost worse to say it in front of people, though.
Right?
It's like,
Definitely.
yeah, I don't think you should never be making a joke at anyone else's expense. This is not.
There's no appropriate way to do it. It's not really
not
a
funny.
joke. Like, are you a 7th grade bully?
Yeah, you're a bully. That's exactly what she is. She's bullying her wife.
Yeah. Next comment. Whoa, I'm happy for you that you left. Someone has joked like that to someone I loved and then started getting physical. I cannot take these jokes as any less than legitimate threats. Good on you for figuring out you deserve respect. Are we not overreacting enough, thinking that it was rude that she left her without a car? And everybody's like, yeah, good job.
I don't know. We could be wrong here.
Yeah.
But like, I just feel like if this is a big pain point for you, which it seems like it is, like, then you have to have a bigger conversation and not run away from things like this. You can't just like take a scapegoat and leave her there. Like, I just feel like, yeah, that's not going to do anything for your relationship. And if you don't want the relationship to continue, then like talk about that.
What if you've already like done this numerous times and you're at your wit's end? So you're like, fuck you, I'm leaving you. Find your own ride home. They got to take the bus back. And while they're on that bus ride, they learn a lesson. They're like, shit, maybe I was so rude. Now I'm on the bus by myself. My ride left me because I was so rude.
I think it makes a difference for me if like you have intentions of leaving at that point or not. Like, if you literally, like, if you in your head are like, okay, this is the final straw. Like, I don't want this. I don't want to take this abuse anymore. Then it's totally fine to leave. But if you are still like going to intend to keep the relationship going, I don't think you should be leaving her there.
So you don't think like making them take the bus as a way to like learn their lesson is a good way to go?
No, I don't think you need to be teaching your partner lessons like that.
They're not your child, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's something you do with your teenage kid.
Exactly.
Who's like mouthing off to you after they ask you to drive them to a friend's house.
That's a relationship that you quite literally have to keep going. Like, you are their parent. This is not one of those cases. Like, you don't have to stay there and take the abuse.
Yeah. So there's an update. To answer a few questions I got. My wife is unemployed and has been for the past few years. She was working in a very toxic company, ended up having to leave due to it taking a toll on her mental health. I don't care that she is unemployed, as my salary is enough to support both of us comfortably. The restaurant was only a 10-minute drive away from our house, and she had the house keys, so she was not locked outside. Me and my wife have known each other since we were teenagers and have been married for 5 years. We have always got along well, but things have steadily been going downhill since she has been unemployed. I introduced my wife to playing games online after she was unemployed, since she had a lot of free time and didn't know what to do. I thought we could bond over this, and I even ended up buying her a complete setup. As time has moved forward, my schedule has gotten a lot busier, and she has been spending more of her time online, and honestly has seemed quite disconnected from reality. We have had many arguments about her change in attitude and lack of interest towards me in our relationship. Most of the time that we talk and I tell her something good that has happened to me, she says something out of pocket, but always ends up playing it off as a joke if I press on it. Despite this, she is also very lovely and sweet sometimes, so I don't think of her as a bad person. Anyway, here's the update. I ended up messaging my wife while I was at the studio that I wanted to take some time to think first, and that I'd be coming home in the morning to talk to her about what happened. I also apologized for leaving her and not telling her where I was going, but she didn't reply, which was a little unusual considering she was blowing up my phone. I got pretty worried that something had happened, so I ended up driving back home at 2 to 3 a.m. in the morning. I found her drinking alcohol at home. I've had a suspicion for a while that my wife has been drinking secretly, but every time I try to ask her about it, she changes the topic or avoids me. When she saw me, she asked why did I come back home and that she didn't want to see me. She seemed pretty drunk, so I tried to give her some water and sober her up a little, but she just knocked it out of my hands and started yelling at me about how I embarrassed her, that I'm ruining everything for her, and a lot of insults. After her outburst, she locked herself away in her bedroom. I ended up looking through her PC, and I'm not proud of that, after I saw a few comments that she could be cheating on me or that she resents me. And she has been sending nudes to multiple different people online. I haven't really spoke to her since that happened or brought up what I have found. This happened a few days ago. We have only said a few words here and there since that night. I've been staying for as long as I can at my studio every day since this happened. I don't know how to face my wife or even look at her anymore. It's gotten to the point where I can't even focus on my work properly anymore. A lot of comments pointed at abuse, and after really evaluating the relationship and how I've been treated these past few years, I can really see it. I was so blinded and kept thinking to myself that things would somehow get better, but I think it's best to take some time for myself now. I've spoken to a few lawyers about divorce, but I'm still waiting. I'm not sure where my wife will live and how she will support herself since I have been supporting her financially, so I'm still trying to work things out. This probably will be the only update I make regarding this situation. So thank you again to everyone who commented and supported me.
Damn. It's for the best, I think. This is no longer a healthy, loving relationship from both of you.
Yeah. Top comment on the update says, OP, you definitely deserve a better partner than that. And I got to agree.
Yeah. I also I don't know. The sentence where she says, we have always gotten along well, but things have steadily been going downhill. A lot of stories do that, where they talk about their partner as if it's an acquaintance. We always get along well. We get along well.
Right?
That should be a given. You shouldn't have to state that. That's your partner.
I would hope you'd be getting along well.
I would hope so.
How many people are in marriages where they're not getting along well?
Right? I just as soon as she said that sentence, I'm like, okay, this is done. This needs to be done.
Yeah, she does make an interesting comment on the update. She says, hello, she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder when we were teenagers and has been on medication. So I've already dealt with mood swings for basically the whole time that I've known her. Since we started having so many problems, I suggested for her to see a therapist multiple times, even found a few for her, but she didn't want to. I care about her, but I don't deserve to be treated like this. She has betrayed me and has walked all over me for quite a while now. I understand she is having a bad time, but I've done everything I can to try and help her. I can't force her to get help if she doesn't want to be helped in the first place.
Yeah, that's tough. I agree with that sentiment. You can't force her to be helped if she doesn't want to get help in the first place. And yeah, shit happens. Life gets in the way. People develop physical illnesses, mental illnesses, and you are supposed to stick by them through, what's the saying, through
thick and thin?
There's a, when you say
sickness and health?
There's sickness and in health, yeah. But when it's someone who doesn't want to help themselves, you can't really go down with them.
It's wild. I couldn't imagine losing my job and then all I do all day is play Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And then I backhand insult you all the time, make you pay for everything, and treat you like shit.
Well, OP must have been, I don't know, putting up with this. Oh, she obviously has been putting up with this. And I think the wife took advantage of this. She was like, well, she puts up with this, and this. She's never leaving me.
Right? Got too comfortable.
Yeah, got too comfortable.
Damn. All right. Back to you.
Alrighty.